Good evening to everyone and wishing you a warm welcome to this webinar where I would not want to talk much, but I will, after speaking for a few minutes, uh, keep the floor open for questions and answers. So, just looking at what happened over the last 1 year, I can't imagine anybody in this world not having to have some kind of a struggle during the last 1 year. And if you was to ask this person a little before 1 year whether he can even imagine that he would be going through this kind of a trouble, most obviously the answer would have been no. The whole things have changed, the dynamics have changed. As a result, we find so many businesses have closed down, but so many businesses have really done very well. If you look at our markets, I'm sure all of us would be tracking the stock markets. If you look at the stock markets, the stock market has made a historic high. How would the stock market make a historic high if the businesses were not doing all that great? And this is where you have to really sit back and think that yes, everybody has gone through turmoil, everybody has gone through trouble, but some of us have done exceedingly well in these troubles. We have actually become very innovative. We have learned a lot of new things. We have enhanced our skill sets. And as a result of that, we are doing much better. The issue, therefore, is, am I in that set of people who are doing much better? Or am I not in that set of people who are doing much better? Now, when I say better and much better, not much of a difference, but then all that we're trying to say is that, have I come out of this crisis with some feather on my cap, some chip on my shoulder, or I'm finding it little difficult to grapple with what's happening? Many times we feel that all this would have been handled better if we were younger. Some of us might feel that all this would have been handled better if we were elder. But let me tell you, I'm going to talk to you about this lady. This lady, and the photograph will tell you, she is about 90 years. Does anybody know this lady? You can guess her name because in the box that she is holding, her name is mentioned. And let me tell you, friends, that she was the lady who was awarded Entrepreneur of the Year by nobody less than Anand Mahindra. So Anand Mahindra says that she is an Entrepreneur of the Year, and you can see she's a grand dadi. What did she do? Someone said that the mithai that you make is like mummy's preparation. And that is that love and affection that this lady said, let me spread out to a lot of people. So at the age of 90, she became an entrepreneur. And this is the story about her. I will not go much into the detail about it, not required at this point in time. But this lady, Harbhajan Kaur, is being declared Entrepreneur of the Year by none other than Anand Mahindra. I'm sure some of us might be working for Mahindra and Mahindra here. We can go back and then check out whether this actually happened or not. So the point I'm trying to make is, friends, there is no barrier to starting something new. Nobody is going to stop you from doing something which you feel is the right thing. And this lady, Harbhajan Kaur, felt that a lot of people who are staying away from their families and who feel that they should be having some goodies of the family's homemade with so much of love and affection. I should be offering that to them. And she converted that into a viable business, and it works very well. So coming back again, what should be the takeaways for us? In this period of difficulty, what we realize is that I might be having some skill sets lacking. I might be having some knowledge shortfall. I'll not say deficiency, I'll say shortfall. So, what do I need to do to actually come up with enhancing my skill sets? And this is where I would want you to take to a simple Japanese philosophy. And as you know, the future belongs to the learners, not the knowers, because the knowers will not learn more, and the things are changing at a very rapid pace. Like as of now, we are having a lot of diesel and petrol cars, but who knows, 10, 12 years down the line, it would be more of electric vehicles. So this is a problem solving technique, but I'm not saying that we are having a problem, but I'm saying if at all we are going to use the same technique to assess what we need to do as an individual, as a professional, as a manager, as a senior manager, what do I need to do? Then these 5Ws would help me a lot. The first one is who has stopped me? And this we can say last one full year, somebody who stopped me was the lockdown. Why? Because I could not move. And because I could not move, I spent a lot of time and effort on my online teaching, online learning, but still there was some bit of a constraint. So what do I need to do? I need to skill up. What can I do? That's the second point. Who, what? Make the best use of time now available to me to enhance my managerial skills. Because if you look at all the businesses in this lockdown which were really successful were those who had got excellent managerial skills. I'm sure all of us know about this company called Asian Paints. I don't know whether somebody here is employee of Asian Paints, but if you are knowing Asian Paints, then let me tell you, this was one of the companies which didn't deduct salaries, we didn't cut salaries during the lockdown. In fact, they went ahead and gave, how should I say, the yearly increases. The yearly increment was paid. And you can see this is a company which is doing phenomenally well. So what have they done? They have really invented in people who are strong managers. And therefore, it may be time for me to enhance my managerial skill. Where do I enhance my managerial skill? Now, this is an exercise which you will have to take. I'm not going to just promote to you NMIMS because I belong to NMIMS, School of Business Management, which we all know is among the best colleges in and around Mumbai. But I'm going to say, please do your own research. Talk out with your senior colleagues, do some search, find out which are the top ranking institutes because you have to do your skill enhancement, you have to do your learning only those places which is going to be the top. There is no room for the second best. So please do this research on your own. Maybe today I'll give you some more inputs so that you don't have to do much research about NMIMS School of Business Management, but please go back and do your own research here. When should I start my MBA program or the skill enhancement program? Please consider that you are always late, which means as early as possible, please embark on the journey of enhancing your skill sets, making yourself a superior person by doing things very correct. And why? For a simple reason, because the future is going to be very dynamic. Now we have just been exposed to, let's say, a problem due to COVID. But what are the recurring problems because of something like COVID? Suddenly there could be another lockdown. We don't know. Europe and other countries have faced a lockdown. Second lockdown, we have so far not faced it, but we never know. So therefore, the future is going to become very dynamic, not only from the epidemic perspective, but in terms of what is going to make somebody successful. So I need to be prepared for that. And how? As I told you, identify a management institute which can give you everything that you desire. And how do you ensure that everything that you desire is given? You must go in for certain institutes which are certified for quality by an international certifying body called AACSB. Just like we are going to have ISO 9001, which was a quality certification uh, body globally acceptable, AACSB, when it comes to education, is where it is globally acceptable. So if some institute has got an AACSB accreditation, then this is globally valid. And in this whole world, there are only about 800 institutes who are accredited. Now, let me tell you, there's a difference between being a member and somebody who has been accredited. I've seen many management institutes. Everybody says we are a member of the AACSB, but member means you are just enrolled for a membership. It has not been accredited. Accreditation comes after a long period of, how should I say, survey, or a long period of follow-up, long period of quality work that is being done, which has been ascertained and verified by AACSB. So there are in India only 8 or 9 institutes who are AACSB accredited. And let me tell you, we are the only one who is offering MBA part-time program. None of the other AACSB accredited institutes offer MBA part-time program. And all those institutes in Mumbai who are offering you MBA part-time program are not AACSB accredited. So you can just do this research for yourself. We have all come across this beautiful term called Atmanirbhar. What is the meaning of the term Atmanirbhar? It means I am empowered to take a decision for myself. I don't have to depend on anybody else. And a few steps which will help you be an Atmanirbhar: have a vision, what you would want to do after 5 years from now. Be excited about the vision. And when I'm excited, I will not sleep. Sometimes people feel dream is something which you get to know only when you sleep. But dream is something which will keep you awake and not let you sleep. So have a vision, a dream that does not allow you to sleep. Develop adequate skill sets to help achieve your dream. Always listen. Because many times what happens is I've seen the minute somebody is speaking, the other person is reading himself with a reply, or the reply is going to come to his mind that if at all he's saying this, then I should be saying this. And in the process, he forgets to listen to what next is being said. So be a patient listener. There is no need for you to immediately respond. After the other person has finished his speech or talk, you wait for a few minutes, think about it, and then speak. So be a patient listener. Don't listen to people who say no for everything. There are naysayers everywhere in your building, and in your residential area, in your friend circle, in your office area. There will be a lot of people who say, no, no, this is not possible. No, no, don't do that. Don't listen to naysayers. Be informed about what is happening all around the world. Like you should now know what is AACSB. Do a Google search. Find what is the meaning of AACSB for quality education purposes. And then come up with your decision. Make your own decisions and you can seek advice from others, but ultimately you are going to live with that decision. So you have to make your own decision. So you can ask your friend, should I do MBA part-time, yes or no? But you cannot say that I enrolled for this MBA part-time because my friend said it is good for me. It is going to be 100% your decision. Last, in this world, always smile, because smile will take you to a lot of people. A frown will not take you to a lot of people. I leave you with just 2 quotes from one of the biggest comedian. I won't say our times, but just before our times. This guy says that my lips don't know that I have problems. They will always smile. The second, you will never find a rainbow if you are looking down. When do I look down? When I'm unhappy, when I am dejected, when I'm in tears, and look down. So these are two of the important quotes that I would want to leave with at this point in time. And I would want to just briefly speak about what do we offer in our MBA part-time program. So let me just start by showing you what is going to be the degree certificate that you are going to get after you finish this course. So you are going to get prominently the AACSB stamp on your degree certificate. And it would be mentioned AACSB accredited. So this is the target, and there are so many of us here, some of us in the second year, some of us in the first year, some of us who have just cleared their courses and doing well for themselves. I have got somebody from Kotak Mahindra who is the senior vice president as a student. I got somebody who is a senior general manager from Indian Oil Corporation, also as a student. So you can look at the kind of talent that we are having here on the campus, and your peer-to-peer learning is also facilitated because of these senior people amongst us as our colleagues for this course. This is our institute. So you can see we are 10 stories, and classrooms would be, there are about 11 classrooms on every floor. So our lectures are generally conducted on floor 6, 7, and whenever you come, you'll be able to see the timetable and allocation the appropriate classroom. So that is not a problem, but this is how the inside view of us. When are the classes conducted? Well, we offer three options, three choices for you to enroll. The first choice is we have lectures from Monday to Friday. So somebody who wants to do a weekday program, he will have lectures from Monday to Friday, 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. Now, supposing someone doesn't want this weekday or to come to the institute 5 times a week, then you have the other option of a weekend program. Now, what is the meaning of weekend? We have again 5 lectures, but 1 lecture on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. So this is what we call the weekend option A. And there are some of us who don't stay in Mumbai or to come to Mumbai on weekends, finish their courses and then go back. Or some of us who stay very far, or some of us who work very late hours, who would only be available on Saturday and Sunday. So this is called the weekend option B. Now what do we do here? In this case, we have got 2 sessions on Saturday and 3 sessions on Sunday. So depending upon your requirement, depending upon your needs, you can enroll for a weekday batch, you can enroll for a weekend A batch, or you can enroll for a weekend B batch. So I am just going through the slides, and if at all you have any queries, maybe you can raise a hand, or you can just wait till I finish my discussion. And any which way is comfortable to you is fine. If you want to ask me questions on this, you can always ask me a question. Right. So why us? As I told you, we are the only institute which is AACSB accredited and offering an MBA part-time program. The other institute in Mumbai, who is also AACSB accredited, is SP Jain, but they don't have an MBA part-time program. Then in India, we have got what is called NAAC. So they do this accreditation. Highest accreditation that can be given to any university or any institute is A+, and we have been awarded the A+ status. And the practices that we have in terms of teaching are in line with what is happening at some of the best B schools. Our current Vice Chancellor was formerly the Dean of our School of Business Management. He is a renowned faculty from IIM Ahmedabad. and he has spent his entire career in IIM Ahmedabad. So his focus is on enriching the content that we are offering you, and you will be surprised that every year our courses undergo a major revamp. Why do we do that? Because over a year, a lot of things change. So on the basis of what the industry wants, the course gets updated. So almost every year now, I'm going to show you some slides, but by the time you join, the contents of those slides would have changed because we are going in for something like a detailed review and rehab of the entire course structure we are having. And the last one we do just 1 year back. So this will keep on happening. Right. So how many courses you will have to do? Approximately over a 2 year period, you are going to do 42 courses approximately, because depending upon your specialization, you might end up doing little here and there. But you are going to learn 42 new subjects over 2 years. How are we structured? We are going to start with what is called an introduction to management course, which is run for 2 weeks. Then we have got 6 full terms of 14 weeks and 1 summer term of 5 to 6 weeks. Now, what is this full term, 14 weeks? We have got 10 weeks of lectures, 2 weeks of exams. And just because sometimes we have a holiday here and there might be a miss, we have kept 2 extra weeks. So 10 weeks of lectures, 2 weeks of exams, and 2 weeks of extra time. So this is going to be 1 term, 14 weeks. And in every term, we are going to do what is called 5 subjects of 100 marks, or 4 subjects of 100 marks and 2 subjects of 50 marks. So this is how every term we are going to have 500 marks worth of learning. Right. How many hours we are going to spend in the classroom? Minimum 1050 hours. And then there are some extra value-added workshops and all that. So that will be over and above this. And I've given you all those details. We are going to have what is called a Bloomberg workshop. Now, again, a Bloomberg is a facility which is not available in many of the management institutes or most of the management institutes. We have invested heavily into Bloomberg. We have a Bloomberg workshop here, and students who undergo this Bloomberg workshop also get Bloomberg certification. Now, what is Bloomberg? If anybody is dealing with any kind of data, the latest data with just a 1 minute or a 2 minute lag across the globe is available on Bloomberg. So if I'm going to try the European markets, I'm going to try the Asian markets, I'm going to try the American markets, the data as available there is available to you here in a gap of about a minute. Now, not just for people who are working in the financial market, but if you're doing, let's say, some trading business or you're doing some export-import business, the entire data available of anything that you want is there on Bloomberg. So this is a resource which you're going to get over and above. This is not part of our classroom, but then I insist that some of our students who want to specialize in finance should definitely get a Bloomberg certification. And I'll just share with you how the Bloomberg certification looks. Similarly, we have got what is called a business simulation workshop. Now, what is a business simulation? Supposing you're running a business as a CEO, what are you likely to do? First, you are going to have a good product. So this simulation would have an option of 5 or 6 products that you have to choose. What are the kind of dimensions, what are the kind of contours you're going to do for the business? Again, you have to decide. Then once you've decided the product, you're going to decide the marketing for it. So again, the marketing simulation runs parallelly. You're going to manufacture it. So when you're going to manufacture it, you're going to have problems with workers, labor, quality, all those things. You're going to put up new facilities. That will take time. So all of those things will happen. Then you are going to have HR issues. You are going to have finance issues. How are you going to raise finance? So you can either go to the markets, you can go to the banks. So all options available to us. At the end of all of this, you're going to make something and launch in the market, and you're going to compete with 5 other teams. And then you will see whether you are going to be successful or not. Now, this is not just for 1 year, but this is what is called a strategy game, which will be run for 6 or 7 years, one after the other. And then you can really see practically whether I have picked up the skills of being a manager or I'm going to lack certain areas and I need to develop. This is going to be a team exercise, but this is what we are going to do here. And this is something that all of us must. Right, we are going to have 2 industry conclaves. So the industry conclaves is when you interact with the industry people, you get to know about them, they get to know about you. You are going to organize this, and this is going to be very interesting. Now, what do we do in terms of teaching and learning? We have case studies, we have lecture rooms, we have role plays, we have some industry specific projects. Everything what the best B schools are doing would be done here. So this is our structure. Just to give you a feel, as I told you, these things are going to change, dynamic, but these are some of the subjects which are the current batch has done. So there'll be, as I told you, 400 marks, 3 credit means 100 marks, 1.5 credit means 50 marks. So 4 papers of 100 marks in the first trimester and 2 papers of 50 marks. Collectively, it is going to be 500 marks. Then when you come to the second year, we are going to have electives. So the electives in the finance area across trimester 4, 5, 6, electives in the human resources area across 4, 5, 6, electives in the marketing area and operations area, just for your knowledge, information would be like this. How do we do the evaluation? We follow international norms of evaluation. 100 marks paper would have 60 marks come what is called as internal continuous evaluation or ICE. This happens as the lectures are going on. So from lecture number 1 to lecture number 10, we would have done 60% of our assessment. And the 40% of the assessment is going to be your end of the term written exam. Now, what comprises the 60% will vary from course to course. For example, I teach statistics. When I teach statistics, there is going to be more of written test, quiz 1, quiz 2, quiz 3, less of an assignment. But let's say, for example, you're doing some course in HR. If there's a course in HR, then there will be a lot of individual assignment, group assignment. So it's going to be a mix and match of a lot of work for your 60 out of 100 marks, but that is called internal continuous evaluation. And your end term exam is going to be for 40 marks. Now, you need to get good marks in both. So you cannot say I'll only get good mark in one and not another. No, it has to be a balance of both. And these are small things which you will come to know when you join the program. How are the end term exams? We don't offer any choice in the exam. So if you are to given 5 questions, you attempt all 5 questions. No choice. There will be no MCQs. Tic tac, yes, no, true, false, nothing of that kind. No short notes or fill in the blank type of question, because we want to be sure that when our people come out of our course and they go and work in the industry again, the industry should benefit from what the students have done. In fact, the course is designed by the industry. And therefore, we want to be sure that whatever we are delivering, the industry is able to make use of it. Attendance requirement, minimum 80%. Now, when I say minimum 80%, that does not mean that you have to attend only 80%. You must attend 100%. But being human beings, there are some exigencies that I might be traveling or I might be not well or something. So therefore, we have kept the minimum at 80%. But as far as I see, most of my students are 100%. Because they invest here to learn. So why should they bunk? They won't. So they are all here 100%. Now, this is a glimpse of our Bloomberg laboratory. And this is the training program that is actually happening on Bloomberg. Subsequently, the students have to learn on their own and they are going to get a certificate like this. Obviously, to get a Bloomberg completion certificate, you need to have a Bloomberg lab. And if you don't have a Bloomberg lab, you cannot get this certificate. So some of us who are working in the finance business or in the stock market would know the value of this kind of a certificate. Next, this is a simulation exercise that I told you. So let's say, for example, your group A, then you have got 5 products and you have to decide where you're going to position your product. You're going to decide what is going to be the material cost and all those things. Now, this is for your product, but what the others are deciding, you don't know. So when they also launch and you also launch, obviously the best product would be getting accepted in the market. So this is exciting. This is what we are going to also do. And with this, I would want to end my presentation rather, but my question and answer session still continues. So if anybody has any specific questions, please feel free to ask anything that you have as a query. Anyone? I did see some of us join a little late. That's fine. If you have any queries on the first part, always let me know. Okay, what happens here for the fee structure is currently I can tell you we are charging about 6.15 lakhs for a 2-year course, but the 6.15 lakh is in 4 installments, which you have to do over 2 years. This is the current fee structure. If it gets revised, I mean, we'll let you know. But as of now, we have this. All right, Sushil, we do not have any campus placements for the simple reason that we get a lot of students who are sponsored by industries. So it will be unfair that we get sponsored students and then we do placements. But I tell you what happens. The minute you pass out, you become an alumni of NMIMS. And the alumni of NMIMS has got a very strong network. We have got over 3 lakhs, 4 lakh students who are there, 4 lakh, 5 lakh members who are there, and job openings keep on coming there. So officially, we are not going to give you any placement, but because of your association with NMIMS alumni fraternity, and we have our CEOs, the most CEOs in India are from NMIMS. So I can only tell that. So officially there is no placement, but because of the alumni network, if you are getting some openings, then you can choose that. So part payment of fees is going to be 1.5 lakhs in 4 installments. I think first installment is on joining. The second installment would come after about 4 or 5 months. And I think it will be spaced like that. I don't know exactly the spacing part, but then this is how it is. Yeah, Manindra, you can please ask your question. Educational loan assistance we don't provide, but then I'm sure many of our students have availed of this. Okay, answering Rahul's question, which location this course taught? It is taught in Vileparle, Mumbai, which is our, how should I say, the headquarters or the flagship of the NMIMS University. So it is conducted in Mumbai. So this is called our main campus, School of Business Management, Mumbai. So I think I also answered Yash's question. Location is Mumbai. Rahul's question, what is the admission criteria? We are going to conduct a written test. And the written test is not going to be something which is going to be out of the world. Written test is going to be something which will be on the current events, which will be having the logical, all kinds of entrance exams, similar kind of a pattern we are going to have. Okay, so Ria says that I mean part-time MBA is not as full. See, the point is, what is a full-time MBA? For people who have not actually had an experience of working in the industry, It is for them. But part-time MBA is basically designed for people who are already working and they know what is a corporate life. So you can see there's going to be a difference. We are going to have more of application orientation rather than just a concept, because these students who are there in full time are not exposed to the industry in that sense. They are not working. So therefore, I would say that yes, there is a difference. But when it comes to recognition, MBA, part-time MBA, you are basically a management graduate. Graduate in the sense postgraduate. Okay, there's a question from Muskan. How can we pick up the right MBA course? Now, Muskan, it's the same question like how can I pick up the right partner for me in my life? That decision has to be absolutely yours. I can only give you inputs. I can only tell you that you have to go and do it from the best institute. Now, what is the best institute? You have to find what is universally best, what options are available to you, and what is convenient to you. On that basis, you will have to decide what is the best MBA institute and an MBA course for you. Now, when you say course, I don't know whether you're talking about specialization, but specialization, we have got finance, we have got operations, we got marketing, we got HR, and we have got, I think, even data analytics. So what happens is you can either do a major minor, or you can do a concentration in one area. So you become MBA finance, or you become MBA finance major and operations minor, or MBA marketing major and finance minor. Any of these combinations are possible. So answering to Deepak, last date for applying, I mean, just take as early as possible. I reckon maybe Niyati would be able to answer this. So I don't know, Niyati, when is the last date for the first phase? All right. Saturday 10 to 7, please note, we are very, very rigid on attendance. The minute the attendance goes below 80%, because what happens, we do not want to take students just for the sake of it. We want to be sure that the students go into the process that we have got. And the process that we have got will not be done if at all, how should I say, that you're not there in the class. So Saturday, you will have to free yourself by 3 o'clock because the lectures start from 3 to 6, 6 to 9, and then Sunday you got 3 lectures. That is something that, exception cannot be made. So I hope Karthik also has got his answer. You can unmute yourself and ask me any questions if you want. Okay, attendance would be both, lecture-wise predominantly. So you cannot say that in one lecture I got 100% attendance and the other lecture I got 60%, so average 80%. ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. It has to be in every subject minimum 80%. So it will not be on an average wise. So day wise, because lectures would be on daily basis. So it will be automatically day wise. So what you can do, perhaps, if you're looking at this, then one Monday you don't come, then next week Tuesday you don't come. So that would be adjusted. But if you're not able to come on Monday only and you can come on Tuesday to Friday, that will not be adjusted. Yeah. Any more questions? Okay. Last day to apply is 21st March. Thank you. Thanks, Niyati. 21st March. But don't wait till the last. And sometimes I'm not too really sure whether we go into phase 2, because if at all the seats are filled up in the phase 1, then we may not be having an option of phase 2. Okay, now Rahul, let me answer your question differently. The industry recognizes us, and we are covered by the university norms because we are a university which is a deemed university under UGC regulations. Whatever courses we are offering is the requirement of the industry, the requirement of the stakeholders. So answering your question, when we say we are offering a postgraduate MBA, it is of course recognized. Like a full-time MBA is recognized, this is also of course recognized. And if at all you want to go in for PhD, you can enroll for PhD here itself after your MBA program. We have been approved as a university by UGC only. And all the norms that we are following is as per the UGC norms. Like I tell you, UGC norm says we should have a contact hours of around 970 or 968 contact hours for a program we called a degree, and we are about 1050 hours. So we are ahead of that. Okay, Niyati, any more questions, or can we conclude the session?
Hello. Yeah, so Mr. Karthik had some questions.
Uh, yeah, good evening, sir. I actually just missed your answer, which followed that if this MBA program we would be able to get PhD or not.
So what I was only saying is somebody was asking me whether this is UGC approved. Now let me tell you, what happens is if the university is UGC approved, every program of the university need not go in for UGC approved. The UGC approves certain programs, certain courses, certain so universities on the basis of certain requirements, and we meet all those requirements. For example, I was telling that the requirement for a postgraduate program is 970 hours of teaching in the classroom. We achieve beyond that. We achieve something like 1020 hours
150.
in the classroom, plus 30 hours of other contact program teaching, because you are going to sit in the classroom for 1050 hours. And the UGC norms is around 960 or 960 for 70 hours max. So we have done all of that. And secondly, what
Okay, sir,
happens?
understood.
Yeah, secondly, what happens is when you have that AACSB logo, it's not only India, it's globally recognized. So somebody will somewhere you can go and say that I am a student of AACSB approved course. So that's a big plus.
so I think now we have covered all the questions and we can end the session.
So wish you all the very best, my friends. Do well in life and always be in touch with us. We are always here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session.